Welcome back, subbies, or welcome to our channel. If you are new, I am Sherry, and welcome to Talk on This. Guys, if you have not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Hit the subscribe button. Also hit the notification bell for more videos just like this. Leave us a comment. We love comments on this channel, and also give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed this episode. All right, let's get right into it. Okay, guys, today I want to talk about routine and consistency and the importance of both of these. Now, as I'm getting older, I'm realizing the importance of routine and being consistent with a routine. Now, routines usually switch up depending on the circumstances and different things that happen around you and in your environment. It may be necessary to switch up your routine. So it is important to have a routine, but knowing when to switch that routine. But it's also important to be consistent in that routine. So I'm looking at myself and I'm looking at people on YouTube and influencers that are being consistent with exercise and wondering, why are they so consistent every morning waking up to go and exercise? And I'm seeing the results of this, but yet I can't get up every morning and exercise, or at least I would say 4 times a week, and exercise consistently. Why can't I do that? Why is it so difficult? And this just made me think, an alcoholic may wonder, why can't I just take one drink like a normal person? If I take one drink, I will drink the whole bottle. A drug addict the same way. Someone who has an eating addiction, can't just eat a slice of pizza, will end up eating the whole pizza or something of that sort. Why is there the ability for one person to be able to be consistent in doing something good, or be able to stop themselves from doing something bad, but yet another person cannot be consistent in doing something good or cannot stop themselves from doing something bad? And I realize that these are demonic forces that are actually spiritual forces that are set against us. People, God's people, Christian people, and just people in general are being attacked by the adversary, by Satan. And there are demonic forces on a mission or on missions to demotivate us, to intimidate us, and to bring us down and to ultimately destroy us. And this is a reality. And I realize that there are demonic forces set on missions to keep us from being productive. And everyone has a different area where they are weakened, that Satan will try to attack you and will have his demons try to attack you and bring you down and further bring you down in this particular weak area. And I'm thinking to myself, if that person can be consistent in exercise, I can be consistent in exercise. But there is something holding me back. And when I realized what it was, I'm saying to myself, I have to set my mind and set up a routine and be consistent with it. And this is when I realized how important routine is in your mental health, to dealing with your mental health and dealing with being productive in life and being successful in life. It is important to have a routine. I would always laugh to myself at my mother, who had a routine. And as she got older, she was so more consistent in her routine. Of going out, watering her flowers every morning, just consistent in her gardening, watering her flowers and her plants. And I see the results of her consistency. She has a beautiful garden, a beautiful yard, because she was consistent in watering and taking care of the flowers. And that would be how she does this, wake up at the same time, does the same thing every day. And as I got older, I'm just now realizing the importance of routine. As I was younger, I never had routines. And the younger people of today, I realize there are a lot of successful YouTubers and influencers that have routines set in place and seem to be very productive. And you can see the results of their consistent exercising and getting up and doing the same routine and sticking to their exercise plan. And you see the results of it, but you wonder why you can't do it. It's all about setting your mind and making a plan and setting a routine and being consistent with it. And this is so important for mental health and productivity in life. And so I set out to do that. And I had to share this because I realized that a lot of people don't understand how these spiritual demonic forces are so set against us in our weak areas. They are so set against us in areas that they know that we are weak in, and that we will excel when we overcome these particular areas. So they bring us down in these weak areas, and these could be generational weaknesses, generational problems that Satan tries to attack us in, problems that have been passed on from generations, and that are just continuing, and the evil forces are attacking you in these weak areas. An alcoholic may have had a generational history of alcoholism in his or her family, and this is where Satan attacks this person who has a problem with drinking, and vice versa. Years and years I'm wondering why I can't be consistent with exercise, and I'm just realizing that this is a spiritual attack. And so I set my mind to do a routine and to stick with it. And so far it's working, and hopefully I could share the results of this routine and the results of this routine with you at the end of this year, hopefully. And we'll see how it goes. But I'm realizing now that it's a spiritual attack, and we have to wake up and understand that the adversary is always on a mission to destroy us. And there are demons set and that have assignments to destroy the people of God and to bring them down in these weak areas. So anyhow, getting over that, I set my routine. And I set a routine to be consistent with exercise and to keep with it. And I set a routine to walk at least every 4 days, and then increase from there. So this is what I'm doing, and so far it's working. So I wanted to mention this because a lot of people don't understand the attack of the adversary and why they're so stuck and cannot excel in certain areas. But it's so important to set a routine, and that's number one. Number two is be consistent with it. You have to be consistent with it. A lot of people start a routine. They start walking, they start exercising, eating healthy, and after a month or so they fall off, or even before a month they fall off the exercise program, or they start off doing a week, and by mid-month they're doing 2 days. They may start off doing 4 days or 5 days a week, and by mid-month they're down to 2 days. By the end of the month they're down to 1 day, and the following month they're not doing any exercise, probably once a month. And this is a reality because I've been there. But if you want to see any change, you have to be consistent, and you have to set your mind, and you have to push through, and you have to realize that this is a force that is against me. And in order for me to succeed and be successful, I have to be consistent, and I have to set my mind to push through and be consistent with this. And this is the only way you're going to see results, because it is a demonic force. It's not just things that happen. Things that happen in life, people are so nonchalant about it, and you don't think about why you're being held back. Things you don't see that are right in front of you, that other people can see, that other people can have a handle on, or it's so easy for that person but not easy for you. These are all demonic forces that are set against you. So you have to be in prayer. You have to ask God for wisdom and pray that you are open to see the truth and open to understanding of what is going on. And until I became closer with Christ, and he opened my eyes to a lot of truth. I mean, a lot of things that I was blinded to before, I am seeing, and I'm realizing, wow, I was blind to this fact all along. And there's so many more things I want to get into, that when you come closer to Christ, he opens your eyes to truth. And so many people are being deceived every day and in their everyday activities, and they can't see it. It's like a normal activity, and they think, it's normal, but it's not. And this is the deception of Satan. And it's so important that you stay in prayer and ask God for wisdom to open your eyes to the truth. And along with routine and consistency, for mental health and for productivity, it's so important to communicate. It's so important to communicate with people. And I realize that when I talk to my friends or family, I am happier, especially people who uplift my spirit. So it's important to talk to people on a consistent basis. It's important to include your pets in your routine and have them on a routine. And normally pets are on their own routine, and they fall into your own routine. And this is so important. This is so important to your mental health. I always say a pet is so good to a person's mental health because they help to keep you on a routine. When they figure out what your routine is, they will keep you on their routine. And sometimes they have their own little routine. So having a pet is really good for your mental health. Number 3, also, it's important to, routine and consistency is 1. Communication with people is 2. And having a pet and having that pet as part of your routine, which a pet will automatically do, is number 3. Number 4 is getting outside. It's so important to get outside in nature, to get outside and feel the breeze, feel the air, feel the sun. I can't tell you how important this is for me to go outside and work in my garden. But I have to realize that when I go outside in my garden and work out in the yard, I cannot work out on that particular day. Sometimes you have to realize that if you are doing one strenuous exercise, doing another strenuous exercise will actually bring you to a place of exhaustion, and you won't be able to complete your day, and it will put you in a sort of a depression because you're so tired. So on the days that I do work out, I don't go in the yard, and vice versa. So I have that as part of my routine. But you have to get out in nature. And that brings me to the other point, is this point 6, where I said don't exhaust yourself. Don't exhaust yourself with so many activities that you're so exhausted that you can't complete your day and do other tasks. Also, it's important, and I think this is 7, that you have entertainment. Entertainment is so important to your mental health. Social media is good, but you have to know when to walk away from it. Having your social media platform, your computer, your telephone, having that communication with social media is good for your mental health, because this is the world that we are in now. And that entertainment part of it is good, because once you associate yourself with good things and beneficial and constructive things on social media, this is good for your mental health. So it's important to make sure that you set up your subscriptions and you set up your computer where you are constantly getting feedback on constructive material for your brain. Stay in tune with and watch constructive material that will benefit your spirit and your mental health. You don't want to continually watch sad things or scary or evil or horrific events, because this actually can make you more depressed and fearful. So it's important to have your focus on constructive material that will feed your brain constructive things and happy thought, continually have you in happy thoughts and in a happy mood. And the same with listening to radio and talk shows or podcasts. Listen to things that are uplifting. These things actually make a difference when you listen to advice that is constructive for your spirit, for your mental health. Listen to things that will uplift you, motivational things. But when you listen to things that are are bad in nature, are wicked in nature, are evil in nature, these things will deplete your spirit. So it's important that you, as Christians, that you set your mind and set your mind to listen and to watch things that are constructive for your spirit and that will uplift your spirit, and speak to people that will uplift your spirit. This is so important. And lastly, I want to say, even though you're entertained with your social media, it is so important to get out, which I hardly get to do. But when I do get out, shopping is good. A lot of women like to shop. Now, I don't have the money to go and shop like that, but going to the food store, going to the food store is just an enjoyment for a lot of people. I mean, I love to go to the food store. I love to go out and shop. And when I go out and shop, it is such an exciting time. It's almost as if, it just uplifts your spirit. So sometimes you go out and you plan to go out and have a day out, activity as just going to shop at the food store, or going to get coffee, getting coffee at a coffee shop, sitting at the beach, which you can't really do now. It's so dangerous now, but just going in a nice public area, maybe a nice park that is, has a lot of people around, a safe area, but just getting out is so important for your spirit, instead of staying indoors. So, when you plan that time to go outdoors and out in public, enjoy that time, and plan that time, and make sure that you set that as part of your routine, and maybe your monthly routine, and look forward to that time, and this is so important for your spirit as well. So I just wanted to talk about that, because a lot of people don't realize that the adversary is so set against us, and in our areas of weakness, this is where Satan will try to bring us down even further. And it's so important to have a routine and have that consistency there, as your foundation, as your base every day, and stick with it. You set your routine and stick with it. if you want to get healthier and eat better and exercise, set your mind to be consistent with it, and not to give up, because and keep showing up. You always hear this on social media, keep showing up, but it's so important that you do that, and know that Satan has his adversaries out there to demotivate you, and you have to set your mind. It's so important. Anyway, guys, just wanted to make that that just ran across my mind, because a lot of people wonder why they can't succeed at certain things. Why it's so hard for them to do certain things, and other people find it so easy. But we're under attack, and we have to realize this, and we have to plan and set our mind on good things, plan our life, be consistent with our routines, with our daily activities, with things that are good for us and constructive for us. Because if we don't do this, if we don't take control of our lives, Satan will take control of it for us. Anyway, guys, until the next video, be safe out there, guys, and be blessed.